Hey guys, Brent Abel here, goalballhunting.com. Yeah, the great Mark Vines right here. Jeff Jacklich next to him, and I'm going to be off camera. Thankfully, maybe a lot of you are saying thank you. That's good. It's about time. So the big question is this: how are tennis players like us who never played on the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for victory match after match? That is the question, and Goalball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Brent Abel, and along with my biz partner Jeff Jacklich, welcome to Goalball Hunting. So Mark, listen man, thanks for spending some time with us today. And before we get into what you're doing with Phil and Mikey at Set Camps, which we want to find out more about, because I know it's a great program for the players, the type of players that we're trying to help as well.
Right.
One of the questions we ask the top guys is, what do you know that the other guys don't know? Not in terms of your coaching, but in terms of your playing. And so, watching you today play your semis, and it just looked like there was just a clear difference. Maybe not so much in stroke technique and all that kind of stuff, but just in terms of what we like to do. We're trying to help players reduce their skill level range.
Right.
Where one day they go out, or one set they go out and they play pretty well, and the next set they kind of stink it up. And we've got this idea that the top players like yourself, even if you're having a lousy set or a lousy day, the bottom of your range never goes too far away from your top.
Well, I wish I could say that my bottom doesn't bottom out, but yeah, it does. It does. And
so how do you manage that? Because I think a lot of other players have got good stroke technique. They're in great shape, but they seem to have a bigger skill level range than the top guys. I mean, we're looking at you this week. We're looking at Jimmy Parker this week.
Right. I think, I haven't watched Jimmy play much, but I think I've got a lot of variety in my game. I have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, plan D. Today, I went to plan C, which is full-out attack. I've been practicing with my opponent all week, and I knew his strengths, I knew his weaknesses, and side-to-side movement on a grass court. He actually was beating me in practice. So I knew it had to be more of an up and back game today. So I have the variety to attack off his second serve, to come in, hit a hard first serve, then hit a soft first serve. Just constant variety of what, and so to keep him off balance. Yeah. It's not a question of me playing well. It's a question of, there's only two ways to win. You either play a little bit better than your opponent, or you get him to play a little worse than you. Right. And when you can do a combination of those two things, then there's a wider gap. Today is a wider gap. My opponent didn't play that well. Played Toby today, Toby Crable. And he, by the way, he sponsors this 60s, which is great. Thanks, Toby. But he didn't play as well. He didn't see this coming. Yeah. But I knew this is the game I had to play. So I think a variety, but a belief in your plans. That's not my normal way that I play. I mean, I'll come in some. I'll chip in charge once or twice, but not. I won't chip in charge 15, 16 times like I did today. And so just having a good variety and believe and practicing and practice.
I think it's critical the way you're describing, having good variety. It's not random variety. You have your skill set in your toolbox, and then you built 4 different plans. You had 4 different plans with a specific variety involved in each one. I think that's important that the players kind of understand that variety in and of itself. I always say variety in and of itself is not a game plan. It's not a strategy. It's a menu that you have to build in some strategies from.
Right. And it's hard. Sometimes I'll get out there and I'll go to my normal game plan and I go, no, this is not going to work. It's like turning the key in your car. And you go, and you go, oh crap, that's not going to work today. I go, all right, plan B. Well, plan B for me is to let's see. Plan A is my normal game, a little bit of variety. Plan B is to get a little steadier, throw them some different pace balls. Plan C for me is to be really aggressive, and Plan D for me is to count balls. I literally count balls. 1, 2, 3. And once you start counting, you don't start over until the end of the set. And there are days I've gone from plan A to plan D real fast because I'm down 3-1, 4-1, and I know I'm beating myself. I'm going, why are you beating yourself?
Yeah.
Just stop. Stop irritating yourself. What counting does, it brings down your focus to one little narrow. It's like having a magnifying glass. You see a lot of things, but bring down your focus to a little bit of point, and it's just the next ball in, next ball in. I don't care whether it goes down line, cross court, top spin, slice, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So having a great mental approach, or at least not a great one, but having a practice mental approach. So when you go out and practice, and I think that's one thing that you guys do at goalball hunting, and that we do at our camps, is we teach people how to practice better, because it's all about the practice. You raise your practice level, your match level goes up, and that's what it comes down to. So when you go out there and practice, say today's game plan, and write it down like you write down a list of things. Write it down.
Yeah.
Is today I'm going to play the first set, plan A. And then I'm going to play plan B. Whatever you decide what A and B are.
And the outcome of the practice set is not really.
How many game plans do you guys have?
Kind of depends on our student. So what we try to help our students do is kind of develop their own unique player brand, right?
Yeah.
So we'll take a look at them, and we'll say, you know what, you do this thing, this 2-shot pattern, really well.
Yeah.
We should figure out how can you do more of that. Because we're not talking about guys like yourself. We're talking about these guys who are getting in the first or second rounds of a Category 1.
Right.
And they want to start moving on, right? So we have to help them identify. So what you've done, right now, is you've identified exactly who you are out there on the court. Most of these guys don't, as you know. They don't know who they are. And so in terms of how do they practice, we're trying to help them identify who they are, what shot patterns work the best. Stop thinking so much about technique.
I agree. I totally agree on that one.
And start start using guys like yourself. I mean, who are the top guys? We asked them who are the top guys in your age group, and stop looking at Fed and Rafa and Novak and thinking, well, geez, if I copy and model these guys, then that's going to help me win.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. And I totally agree with that. And the thing is that typically as we get older, we want to look at the younger ones because they hit the ball harder and they do this and that, but it's not realistic. So if you're out there watching this, and you are, and you're 58 years old, look at the top 60s. If you're 68 years old, look at the top 70s and where they're playing. Don't look at 10 years, younger, because they learned a whole different skill set and a different way of hitting that ball. I mean, if you're 68 and you're trying to learn how to hit a semi-western forehand for the first time ever, you've got a good forehand. Work on it.
Yeah.
You have some variety, and how many times have you hit a slice forehand on a hard court? Just to throw the guy off. But but develop your game plans, and then in practice, always make sure that you write this stuff down, and then you have to be accountable for it. So after practice, you sit down and reflect.
Yeah.
Here are my performance goals. Here are my 4 or 5 performance goals I want to achieve, and then go grade yourself. Oh, okay, on return of serve, not good today. That's a D. Okay, and it goes through the checklist of what you did, what you did bad, and then when you go to your, these guys, they come to you, they come to me at set camps, but hopefully they go and work with a local pro, and most of the pros, unfortunately, don't work on anything but technique.
That's right. That's right.
And if you're trying to hit top spin passing shots, well, and you have a continental grip, it's going to be a little tougher, but be okay with a flatter, but take something off of it and roll it cross court.
What do you guys do with set camps? Phil, Mikey Landauer, and yourself. Give us kind of the background, the backstory, how you guys got started with that.
Well, I've had a dream about 10 years ago of finding my niche. I had some senior guys coming to me about 10, 12 years ago wanting to work on the game. And I had given up on my junior. I mean, I wasn't working with any top juniors. And because juniors are very high maintenance, mainly because of their parents, not because of them. And so I thought, this has got a lot. I enjoy working with seniors and helping them overcome some of their obstacles for getting better. And I thought, that would be something great. And then I thought, well, maybe there are camps and I started looking for camps. There's nothing for seniors out there. Nothing.
Right.
If you're 50, like I would want to get myself ready to go play tournaments. How do I do that? A lot of people go, well, I'll go to a camp, great weekend camp, and really bring my game up real fast. And then I heard stories like, oh yeah, I go to this one and that one, and they made me at 600 balls, and this 25-year-old snot was just running me around and said, you need to stop hitting slices and hitting top spin back. And I'm like, wow, no, that's not for me, and I don't think that's realistic. So I thought about it, but I knew I couldn't do it by myself. So I was talking to Phil and Mikey, because we both live in Naples, and we all live in Naples, and they had a pilot camp that they have every August. They just invite all their playing friends, and they come down, and it was free. And they would just have a great weekend, and social and everything. And I said, I would like to formalize it. So we came up with a business plan and developed our business plan over about a 6-week, 2-month period of time to do this. And lo and behold, we thought we can. And we looked around. I mean, at that time, I knew that y'all were, doing your thing. But, you're way out in the West Coast, and there's plenty of senior players. And we really want to get the ordinary players. Yeah. The 4-0s, the 4-5s, the 5-0s who are just plateaued and don't know what to do, And we do small groups of anywhere from about 8 to about 15 players. We have 5 or 6 camps a year. We bring them into Naples, Florida. We do it on the clay courts, and we do some videotaping. We do some singles. I sort of take over the singles, and then we all do some doubles. But I work a lot more specifically on their footwork and the practice habits and what they do in the ball machine. We do some chalk talk, but we have some fun social activities too. We have a couple of dinners that we talk about bringing stories. Phil, of course, Phil, he knows everybody, and he's the gift of gab.
Is he the greatest storyteller of all time?
Oh my God, he's a gift of gab, and when we bring in like Joanne Russell will come in to talk, or Larry Turville. We're trying to get Parker in to tell some stories about and to ordinary guys who just they have no idea, but it's great for them. And we've got a couple guys who've come now to 3 of our 5 camps.
That's cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a fantasy camp. I mean, you guys are working.
No,
you guys are working.
No. This is and in Naples it's pretty warm.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, most of the year our last camp was pretty hot, so we go about 4 to 4.5 hours a day on Friday and Saturday. We have a thing on Thursday. You got meet and greet doubles, and then on Sunday we have our closing. We go over a lot of things, and we really want to. We thought about taking this on the road also. Yeah. Doing like a road show, but we feel like that we're not ready for that right now.
Logistically, it's a little tough.
It's much more difficult, and it's more cost effective for everybody. We charge about $695 for the weekend, inclusive some lunches,
That's a deal.
Several dinners, and it's for the guys. It's for guys, and we do women. We've had women in it too, and they love it. Oh my God, the women! We're trying to get an all women group together too, but Phil and Mikey still have their ordinary jobs. I have my ordinary job, so it's a little busy, at times when the snowbirds come down like they are now. But it's just something that we hope to. We're not going to.
So if someone wants to find out, is there a website, email address? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
SET Camp stands for Senior Excellence Tennis Camps. Senior Excellence Tennis Camps. But if you just go setcamps.com, it'll just zip right on over there. It has information about the upcoming dates. We have our prices. We have a typical itinerary. We're getting ready to put up on our website a FAQ on that. And so we generally are looking, and we don't have housing per se, but we know places to go. And then sometimes we know people. We know a lot of people who, when it's not in season, their place is empty, and they don't mind lending it.
That's cool.
For a good weekend.
When's the next camp?
Next camp is first weekend in January. It's right before we have the Super Senior Grand Prix tournaments in January. we have a doubles tournament that starts around the 10th, but that first weekend, that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think it's the 2nd through the 6th, I want to say, or the 3rd through the 7th. I should know those dates.
Can I reserve a spot?
If there's any left, they were going pretty good. A lot of the guys who come in to play the tournaments in Florida in January, in Naples, and then they go up to Sarasota in February. They come in on the 1st or 2nd, and then they stay. They rent a place for a month.
It's like a 7 or 8 week deal, isn't it?
It is 8 weeks, and my club, the World Tennis Club, we have the first singles tournament of the year, and it's a Florida designated. Last year we had a 14% increase in participants. We had 255 guys play from 50. This is for 55s and older.
Beautiful.
Like you have the Wilson tournament here,
right.
Super Category 2, but that's from 35s. Now, our Super Senior starts at 55s and goes up. They're all on clay. We have singles, we have doubles. Right before my tournament, there's a 3-day tournament over at Academy Sanchez. It's a doubles-only tournament. It's a National Men's Senior Tennis tournament.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're not a member and you're a senior player, join National Senior Men's Tennis Association. Go online, look it up, become a member. Right?
I'll actually put it in the show notes here.
Yeah.
So and put a link there. All right. Well, you got the finals tomorrow, singles.
Yeah, I played both of them. I've never beaten Federer. Never beaten
Oh.
him. I've lost to him 6-4 in the third, lost to him 6-3 in the third, lost to him 6-1 in the third. I've lost him 1-2.
Wow.
Hunter,
Wow.
I've never lost him.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's another match. While it is a finals, I'm sort of downshifting my competitive. This is my 3rd year in the age division. I've never really played in any age division more than about 3 years, and then I downshift a little bit.
The last couple of years.
Take a little time
Yeah.
off, and
Yeah.
when I say time off, my time off is going to be to get myself in shape, lose 15 pounds. I'm carrying too much weight. I mean, I don't know how I play at the weight that I do, but I move pretty well for somebody who's 20 pounds overweight.
Right.
And I'll be the first to admit it, but I look at these guys, these 75s guys out here, and I go, in 12 years, I'm going to be in 75s, and I won't be able to move at all if I look and have the same body.
So
that
what's
I
your
have
plan?
right now.
How you gonna do it?
I'm going to. My wife's a serious CrossFitter, so
Okay.
I'm going back into CrossFit a little bit.
Good.
And then also I will be changing my diet. And my diet has been slowly changing, but slowly changing is not making any difference. And I have hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's disease, and so it's very difficult for me to lose weight because of the thyroid issues. So I'm on medication, been on medication for 20 years, but it doesn't really do anything. Mainly just tennis. So there's a combination of things.
Yeah.
I'll play a little bit, and I'll play my first major tournament. I'll play will be the Worlds in May in West Palm Beach. I'll play the individuals. I'm not going to be on the team. It's just too difficult to play 2 weeks. I mean, you played on the team. You just came back from Umar. Can you imagine playing the team and then going to play in the individuals?
No way.
And have it hot, because in Florida in May, in late April, it's
brutal.
hot.
It's brutal.
It's very hot. So you got to pick and choose. I did it 5 years ago. I played them both, and I was beat. I mean, and Busby just killed me in the semis, and I was playing well.
Yeah.
But I just was overweight. I wasn't in that good a shape, and I was exhausted from playing the teams.
All right, man. Hey,
Well, listen,
thank you.
Hey, I just want to say good luck to you
Thank
both.
you.
And keep giving it everybody, because I watch their podcast too. It's amazing. Every time I watch one, I learn something. I go, yeah, and it may be something that I take in myself, or maybe it's something that I take in to give to others. So, one of the best ways you can make yourself happy is to learn this stuff and then give it to others and tell them about goalballing. All right, so do that.
Good
all
stuff.
right?
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, guys. That's fine.